Hello, sunshine. It is Sunday night, December 8th, and I visited with my parents earlier today, and my mom wrote me and said, your father's glucose numbers and his AC1 have really been super elevated, even though he's been taking his insulin. And you should really come out to the shop today because the two of us are going to be there. So I went out there, and I have to tell you that he looked really, really frail. It was almost like he was 30% asleep as he was talking to me. And he's been on insulin for about 6 months now, maybe a year. And the reality is that insulin can be very, very challenging for people. And he is 81. And my feeling is that this is a very, very critical juncture for him. I think his body is tired. I think his mind is tired. And my mom just looked at him like, I'm doing my very best to make you comfortable, to be supportive, but you always have that feeling that this person is struggling to keep his energy level up, his motivation up. But 81 years for a human body is a long time, and back in the day, without the technology, it makes sense how people were dying at 30, 40, not 40, but like 40, 50, etc. Because we have so many medicines, technology, that stuff keeps us alive, right? And I felt this sense of sadness that he's going through this and he's on insulin, and if his numbers keep doing what they're doing long term, it's not a good solution to be struggling in that way, because you can go, first of all, he's fallen 2 or 3 times, and it's becoming almost commonplace. And you as well as I know that it just takes one fall to break a hip, to break a bone, or something along those lines, which creates a whole other set of challenges, health challenges. So I wanted to share that with you tonight as I'm driving home, and I hope you're doing well. Hope your Sunday's been going well. I can only imagine all the things you're juggling, getting ready for your son coming in from Europe, and also dealing with the challenge of getting all your upcoming surgery details lined up. Knowing you, I'm sure everything is being done with military style precision. And there was another thing I wanted to share with you, but I just can't remember it right now. So my youngest daughter, I said to her, it'd be kind of cool for us to have like a movie night where I can go over to your house, the house that I own, and maybe we can pick a Tuesday night or a Thursday night when I'm not in class and just watch a documentary. I used to take them to documentaries and movies every Thursday night when they were with me, and we really enjoyed it. When they were at my house, they would come over to my bedroom and we'd watch The Office together, all 3 of us. And in most cases, I was so tired I'd fall asleep, and they would watch hours of shows, and I'd be there, asleep, just conked out. But there's something really beautiful about being able to share those moments together. And maybe in my mind, I keep thinking, my youngest one is 20 now, but soon enough, we won't be able to share those moments. I drive her to school, and I'm capturing those moments because when I was taking care of them, when they were with me, every other weekend we were together, and every Thursday night we were together. And I knew that was going to come to an end at some point, which it did, obviously. But I cherished those moments, and it's simply another reminder in life that as we go through life, we really have to take advantage and savor those moments when we are with our children, and in your case, your grandchildren, because these days just go by so fast. I mean, it seems like 24 years ago, everyone was worried about Y2K and computers crashing and the world ending, and here we are 24 years later, and it's like, hold on, it was just Y2K the other day, but sorry, it's 2024, we keep going. I've been seeing these memes on Instagram where they talk about, do you know that if you are 55 or 50 or 60, historically or based on numbers, you have 15 more Thanksgivings to go, or you have 20 more birthdays to go, or whatever, right? Like a reminder that we've had 55 Christmases in our past in a rearview mirror, but the reality is that you only have 15 more to go, right? I mean, let's assume you're 60 years old and you're a man, and if men pass away at 75 historically, that's a true fact. If you're 60, you have 15 more to go. And so in my case, it'd be 20 more to go. So you got to make them count. You got to make them last, make them memorable, take those pictures, enjoy those moments. And it's such a hard reality to accept. But when you shared how losing your mom was such a big wake-up call for you, and I haven't had that experience yet, because let's face it, my mom will be 80 years old on the 13th of this month. We're gonna have a little dinner for her at some restaurant my brother picked. It's like a Brazilian place where they cut the meat in front of you. So I just wanted to hop on this Sunday night and just share that with you, because it's tough to see your father going through that. And in my case, I've never been close to my father. We just, when my parents divorced, I was 13, and over those years, we never formed a bond. We never formed a relationship. And I often said that I would never want to be the father that he was. And what I mean by that, he's a very loving father, extremely supportive. Anything we need, he will jump and be there, right? But for me, he never really exposed us to things. And what I did as a father, I exposed my daughters to everything. Music, art galleries, this, that, and the other experiences. I would take them to meet boxers. I would take them to meet business owners. And I would pay people to say, hey, can you tell them your story? Your time is valuable. I respect that. And they would sit in with my daughters, and I'd be there, and they would tell their stories, right? And I think that helped form them, got them involved in nonprofits, got them to understand the value of volunteering. And I would always be aware of what kind of lesson could I teach these girls as I'm driving about dealing with people, about business, because I thought to myself, I have these life lessons that I'm learning on a daily basis with my business, with nonprofits, in the charitable world, and anything I can share with them now, hopefully they'll listen. And I'll never forget this one story where I told my youngest daughter, when you're in school, first day of school, you'll always see people forming little cliques, little groups, but it never fails. There's always one person who gets left behind. Nobody wants to talk to that person. I said, make an effort to go to that person, engage that person, talk to them, ask them their name and so forth. And my youngest daughter once told me, I did that one time, and it turns out this girl loves hip-hop music, and she turned out to be one of my best friends. So those little life lessons, I never learned them from my father, because he's a baby boomer, and I think when he grew up, his father really never did that. And so my father taught me important lessons about how to be a better father, and I think I would hope that I accomplish that, because I have a really wonderful relationship with my daughters, and I think they really vibe with me. And they think I'm so cool. Like they'll often say like, "Oh my God, I really love what you wear and places we go." And they love my Instagram account, of course. So where I'm going with this is that I never had that connection with my father. So while I have empathy and love for him and sympathy for what he's going through, I don't have that bond with him, if that makes any sense. The bond you had with your mother, which was very deep, and it explains why her leaving this material world was so powerful. And this is why I struggle with wanting to have deeper feelings for him, but I don't have that connection with him. And again, it's nothing negative on him. I'm not trying to trash him, but it's a weird disconnect. And I think based on my conversations with you, you may have that with your father. I don't know why. I kind of feel that same type of feeling that you may have towards him for a variety of reasons, right? It's hard to explain. Well, it's 9:48 and I went to this dance performance, shot some video of some Indian dancers. I'm going home right now. I'm going to go to H-E-B to buy some groceries for the week. It's a little late to be buying groceries, but I couldn't get out. But I just wanted to pop in and share that with you and let you know what I'm going through, because I have a feeling the next few months are going to be challenging for him. I personally think that insulin, while it's critical and necessary for those who have bodies that are not cooperating in that arena, I think it's essentially a poison that over the long run just wears your body out, and it's just not a good place to be. It's a necessary, I realize, but from my understanding, talking to people in the medical world, at some point the body says it's not enough, or it's too much, or it throws you off, and it's just a prognosis for long-term liver damage and other things that lead you to dialysis. And I really don't think my father could make it through dialysis. It's just too hard. In my opinion, I'd be like, you know what? I'm 81, lived a good life, got grandkids, one's married. I would just say, thy kingdom come, thy will be done. Send me to hospice. I don't want to suffer anymore. All right, sunshine. Have a wonderful night. Have a great evening. I'm so happy I have this platform to share these stories with you, and they're there whenever you want to see them. You can enjoy them. So sending big love from Texas, and hope you're doing great. And you're 9 days away from your surgery, and I'm going to have you in my prayers every single day, and you're going to do great. And I'm so thrilled you won't have those hip issues that have brought you so much anguish since I've known you, right? I saw what you went through, and I just thought, this is a challenging quality of life that you're having to endure. So I'm thrilled and happy that those days, God willing, will be behind you, and only good days ahead, and more walking and more hustling and more dancing and all that good stuff. All right, sunshine, you take care of yourself, and here's another one for the world of YouTube. You take care. Big love. All right, there you go. Big love. Ciao.